everyone. This is God the Center with Matthew. Today we're going to be switching up books. Today we're going to be in the book of Romans. So I'm going to start reading, and if I can see it this morning, I've been having trouble seeing a little bit. Verse 1, chapter 3. What advantage then has the law? On what is the profit of circumcision? Much in every way, chiefly because to them were committed the oracles of God. For what if some did not believe? Will their unbelief make the faithfulness of God without effect? Certainly not. Indeed, let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written. So it's saying we have to have faith in God. If we don't have faith in God, we don't have nothing. And this is the whole thing on there is not no good man. There's not no good woman here on earth. Is what this is saying. And the only way we can get through heaven is through the baptism of Jesus Christ, which is the only way. There's only one way, and it's through Him. It's not through any good deeds we can do, because even the most best person you can think of has got something going on. Because it says clearly that there's no good person here. If you listen to what this book's talking about, and see, I got in an argument with somebody about like twice last week. That's the reason why I went to this. They think that they stand up here, and I'm down here. Everybody's on a even playing field as far as God goes. If we're truly following Jesus, truly seeking Jesus, and truly believe in Him, don't just say we believe in Him, but actually believe in Him, and we are doing the best we can as far as, like, you know, there's some sins that's just hard to get over. And, like, you know, you got to recognize them, though. You got to pray to God. You got to ask forgiveness of these sins. And you know, like I was addicted with drug and alcohol for many years, and I knew I was doing wrong, but I couldn't stop, and I was begging God to help me. And for somebody to say that because I was in that if I had died I would have went to hell, I don't believe that. You know, I've been baptized. I've actually been baptized twice, and I did stay in communication with God during all that time. And I truly was repentant and really truly was sorry for what I was doing. And I beat myself up a lot, you know, and I talked to God through all that. So don't let nobody tell you you're not good enough. And don't let nobody tell you you're going to hell, because it ain't nobody's business. Because the person pointing that finger at you has got something going on with inside themselves, or they got a devil in them. There's some, you know, maybe they are looking out for you. I'm not going to say that somebody can't look out at you for love, but that same person, if they're telling you you're going to hell, and you've been saved, and you know where you stand at with God, then just remember where you stand at with God. That's all I'm saying, because there's a lot of people out there that tries to bash people and make them feel less than, and that's narcissist. That's narcissist behavior. God didn't didn't build us up to tear other people down and tell them they're going to hell. You know, I don't really believe that it's not my place to tell somebody they're going to go to hell. It's not my place to tell somebody, like, you know, my place is to tell people the truth about what this Word says, and it does. We do have to be with God and communicate with God and have a relationship with God and be adopted into the family in order to get to heaven, which is through the baptism. So I'm going to go to, let's see, that it may be justified in your words and overcome when you are judged. So 5. But if our righteousness demonstrates the righteousness of God, what shall we say? Is God unjust who inflicts wrath? I speak as a man. Certainly not. For then how will God judge the world? For if the truth of God has increased through my lie to his glory, why am I also still judged as a sinner? And why not say, let us do evil, that good may come, as we slanderously report, and as some affirm, as we say, their contentment is just. So, I'm like, again, it's just because you go get saved doesn't mean you should be walking around in this stuff. You shouldn't. I mean, I was saved, and then I did good for some years, and I backslid, like I said. But I wasn't just. It was something I couldn't control. It was something that the best of me I couldn't. So I wasn't saying, "Oh, let me just go out and do this." It was something. It was like a demon had captured me. I believe that there's certain things in life that pop up. There may be you may can go like a couple of days, a week without a sin, but even just looking at a woman or a man the wrong way is a sin. I mean, there's being like hating somebody in your heart. That's as bad as murder. So. It's just really hard to go through this life. That's why Jesus came down and redeemed us, was because there's no man can get to heaven on their own. And if anybody really believes that they're so good that they don't do no sinning, then I guess you're God. You're putting yourself up on the same level as God, and that's very dangerous for any human being to believe that. That's all I'm getting at. Any human being that believes they are up here and everybody else is down here has really got an awakening when they go see Jesus. And that's all I'm saying. So I'm going to go to verse 9. What then? Are we better than they? Not at all. For we have previously charged both Jews and Greeks, and they are all under sin. It is just what I just said. We're all under sin. Jews, Greeks, the Gentiles. It talks about Gentiles later on in here. All of us are under sin. All of us have sinned. All of us will sin in the future. There's no really stopping it. There's doing less of it. Doing less of it is the goal. Doing less of it. I was telling God the other day when I was confessing a sin, that I'm sorry because I feel like I'm crucifying you every time I do this, or anytime I'm doing wrong, I'm just re-crucifying you, and so that's the kind of mentality us as Christians need to have. Is like to press forward and to do better each day. I'm going to verse 9. Then what? I've already did that one. So go to verse 10. As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. There is none who understands, there is none who seeks after God. They have all turned aside. They have together become unprofitable. There is none who does good, not one. Their throat is an open tomb. With their tongue they have practiced deceit. The poison of asp is under their lips, whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet is swift to shed blood. Destruction and misery are in their ways. In the way of peace they have not known. There is no fear of God before their eyes. Now, we know that whatever the law says, it says to those who are under the law, that every mouth may be stopped, and the world may become guilty before God. Therefore, by the deeds of the law, no flesh will be justified in his sight. For by the law is knowledge of sin. So it's saying none of us, not one of us, will be justified by our deeds. Our flesh desires the things of this world. We're in the world, we're not in heaven, and so our flesh just seeks after all this bad stuff. We have to fight this stuff off. This is something we have to fight. That's why they talk about being crucified with Christ. We literally have to try to crucify our flesh. We have to literally try to kill this flesh that we live in order to live up to God's standards. And it's hard. It's hard. I mean, it's very hard to deny this flesh on what this flesh wants. It's very hard, and it's just something that we have to do as Christians, is to deny our flesh. Deny our flesh and move forward. So I'm going to go to 21. But now the righteousness of God apart from the law is revealed, being witnessed by the law and the prophets, even the righteousness of God through faith in Jesus Christ to all and on all who believe, for there is no difference, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Right there, all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. There's not one of us that is up there with God. Well, no, there's not even close. Even the popes, I don't even want to get into that, because that could be some jokes made there. There's a lot of people that won't go to church because we're pointing fingers at them. We're talking down to them. Instead of trying to lift them up and trying to give them a helping hand, we want to kick them and tell them they're going to hell. It ain't my place to tell nobody they're going to hell. It's my place to tell them the way to get to heaven. It's as simple as that. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. 24. Being justified freely by His grace. I was telling that person that the other day. They didn't want to hear that. Being justified freely by His grace through the redemption that is Jesus Christ, whom God set forth as a propitiatory by His blood, through faith to demonstrate His righteousness, because in His demonstrate as the present time His righteousness, that He may be just and the justified of the one who has faith in Jesus. So we're justified through our faith in Jesus. That's the only thing that we're justified through. That's what covers the sins. That's what helps us get into heaven, is our faith and His grace. His faith and His grace is the only way we're getting to heaven. It's not because of our good deeds. Because we're all wicked in some kind of way. You can say you're not. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to everybody else. You're lying to God. You are lying to God if you say that you are good enough to get there on your own. You're just a liar. There's no truth in you. Then we'll go to verse 27 now. Where is boasting then? It is excluded by what law? The works? No, but by the law of faith. Therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith apart from the deeds of the law. Or is He the God of the Jews only? Is He not also the God of the Gentiles? Yes, of the Gentiles also, since there is one God who will justify the circumcised by faith and the uncircumcised through faith, do we then make void the law through faith? Certainly not. On the contrary, we establish the law. So it's saying that just because we're justified through the faith doesn't mean we should still go out sinning. We shouldn't still go out sinning, just purposely out doing things. So it's like we can't just use it as a pass, is what it's saying. We don't just use this as a pass to do wrong. You have to fight it. You have to fight the sin. The sins sometimes can be uncontrollable, and we have to fight it. And then there may be some people that try to get you to slip up. I had a buddy the other day try to get me to go over and get drunk with him. How you can have a beer? No, I can't. You know, that's where I was able to just put my foot down and not do that. Now, you put me in some other type of situation, maybe I'm not strong enough as far as just any other little thing. I get caught up swearing sometimes. I know I shouldn't be doing it, but it just happens. It just comes out. That's what it talks about. It was talking about, we're just naturally bad, and it's something you work on. So we have to work on every day being a better person than we was yesterday, and that's what this lesson was about. Us knowing that we are not good enough to get to heaven, but we're justified through the blood of Jesus Christ, through the baptism, and through the blood that covers these sins. That's the only way that we are justified to get into heaven. And I'm not going to tell anybody that their religion is wrong or anything. It's not really my place. It's my place to tell the truth. It's my place to tell the truth, and for me to spread love and not hate, and for me not to point fingers at people and step on people and spit on people and tell them they're not good enough. That's not my place. My place is to tell them the truth of Jesus, and we are justified through the blood. Because I had somebody tell me told me I was going to hell. Well, I've been told that throughout my entire life. Probably once every couple of years, somebody just come out of the blue and say that, and that's just a really hateful thing to tell anybody, especially when you don't even know. I mean, I do have faith in Jesus, and I have been baptized. And am I perfect? No, I'm not perfect. I'm an imperfect man trying to do God's work the best that I can. So with that being said, I thank each and every one of y'all for viewing, and if you like what you've seen, like, share, and subscribe, and y'all have a blessed day.